Welcome to Accra, Ghana's bustling capital, a city where history, ambition, and innovation meet. Today, we journey into the remarkable story of one of West Africa's most advanced medical facilities, the University of Ghana Medical Centre, popularly known as UGMC. This is not just a hospital, it is a beacon of hope, a symbol of Ghana's medical progress, and a testament to decades of vision, planning, and perseverance. The roots of UGMC stretch far deeper than the modern complex you see today. To truly understand why this facility exists, we must go back over a century, to 1919, when Sir Frederick Gordon Guggisberg, Governor of the Gold Coast, established Korle Bu Hospital. The idea was bold: eventually build a medical school right here in the Gold Coast so the colony could train its own doctors. Unfortunately, when Guggisberg left office, the plan stalled. The idea resurfaced in 1951, when the colonial government and the University College of the Gold Coast invited experts from the University of London to assess the feasibility. But by 1952, the plan was again postponed indefinitely. In 1955, the colonial government revisited the concept, and by 1956, the University Council, led by Principal David Balmer, proposed concrete steps, including upgrading Korle Bu into a teaching hospital and enrolling 20 to 25 medical students annually. Still, funding and infrastructure issues meant that progress was painfully slow. When Ghana became a republic in 1960, President Kwame Nkrumah sought US support to establish a national medical and health training center, a project that included a medical school, nursing school, dental school, and more. That vision materialized partially, with the University of Ghana Medical School officially opening in the 1960s. But a specialized cutting-edge medical and research center, the scale of today's UGMC, would take decades more to realize. Fast forward to the early 2000s. Ghana's healthcare needs were rapidly evolving. Population growth, rising chronic diseases, and the need for advanced training facilities meant that existing hospitals were no longer enough. The University of Ghana Medical Centre was conceived by the faculty and administration of the University of Ghana, and the project was initiated under the late President John Evans Atta-Mills. It was envisioned as a quaternary level medical and research centre, offering specialised treatments, cutting-edge research, and advanced training for health professionals. Sod-cutting ceremony. The symbolic sod-cutting took place during the Atta-Mills administration, marking the beginning of a high-profile national project. Political will was crucial, and successive governments played their roles, even amid changing political climates. Building a facility of UGMC's scale required huge investment. Funding came primarily from the Government of Ghana, with additional support from strategic partners like the Universal Hospitals Group Limited, UHG, which also contributed essential equipment as part of their corporate social responsibility. But the road was not smooth. Political debates sometimes slowed momentum, with discussions over management structures and operational control. Funding delays caused construction phases to stretch out longer than planned. Specialized equipment procurement required international partnerships and time-consuming negotiations. Despite these challenges, determination won. The UGMC was commissioned in 2017 and officially began phased operations. Today, UGMC stands on the University of Ghana campus at Legon, serving as both a hospital and a research center of international repute. It is quaternary level, meaning it handles highly specialized medical cases often referred from other hospitals. The center played a critical role during the COVID-19 pandemic, providing treatment, testing, and advanced care for patients during the height of the crisis. UGMC is designed to meet international healthcare standards, offering a wide range of services, including laboratory services, advanced diagnostics, and research capabilities. Pharmaceutical services, efficient patient-centered drug provision. Pediatric services, specialized care for children and adolescents. Emergency medical services, 24/7 advanced trauma and emergency response. Obstetrics and gynecology, comprehensive maternal and women's healthcare. The center also houses multiple departments covering internal medicine, surgery, neurology, cardiology, oncology, intensive care, imaging, and more. Before UGMC, many complex cases in Ghana had to be referred abroad, costing families significant time and money. The center was built to reduce medical tourism by providing advanced treatments locally, train specialists to international standards, advance medical research tailored to Ghana's unique health challenges, improve access to high-end healthcare for all Ghanaians. Over the years, UGMC has treated a wide range of patients, from ordinary citizens to high-profile figures. While patient confidentiality remains paramount, it is widely acknowledged that several prominent personalities in politics, business, and sports have sought care at this hospital, a testament to its reputation. UGMC's quality benchmarks include highly trained Ghanaian and international specialists, state-of-the-art equipment matching global best practices, multidisciplinary approach to patient care, continuous training programs to keep staff updated with the latest techniques. From its historical roots in the 1919 Korle Bu vision to its 21st century reality, UGMC represents the culmination of Ghana's century-long dream of medical excellence. The future promises even more: expanded research collaborations, postgraduate training programs, and increased capacity to handle complex cases across all specialities. Closing scene: sunset over UGMC, patients and staff going about their day. The University of Ghana Medical Center is more than a building. It is the living heartbeat of Ghana's healthcare aspirations. Born of vision, strengthened by political will, and driven by a passion for saving lives, UGMC stands as a symbol of what Ghana can achieve when determination meets purpose. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more interesting and exciting stories about Ghana's transformative projects.